We're all kind of waiting for it, right? That big AGI moment, the giant headline that splashes across every screen, the huge announcement, the day some CEO steps on a stage and says, "We did it. It's here." But what if that's not how it happens at all? What if we've been looking for the wrong signals this whole time and the real revolution has, well, already started?
I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. Did the internet show up with a global press conference? Nope. Did the cloud ask for permission before it completely changed how every business on Earth operates? Of course not. These huge, monumental shifts, they don't arrive with a bang. They show up quietly, changing the very infrastructure we all rely on before most of us even realize what's happening. And that really gets to the heart of it. We're all programmed to look for the flashy headline, that big dramatic event. But the reality, especially when it comes to enterprise-ready technology, is so much quieter. It's a foundational shift. It's not about the flash. It's about the pipes being laid deep underground, getting ready for the future. Okay, so let's dig into this because this isn't just a random thing. It turns out every major technology follows this predictable, almost hidden three-stage pattern. It's a curve that has played out over and over again. And if you understand this pattern, you can see exactly what's happening right now with AI. So it always starts with the breakthrough, right? Some cool new invention gets all the headlines, tons of excitement. Then comes the gap. This is where the tech is super powerful, but businesses, the big enterprises, they can't really touch it at scale because it's missing all the boring but crucial stuff: security, governance, compliance. But the real inflection point, the moment that truly changes everything, is what we call the crossing. That's when the infrastructure finally catches up, all those trust issues get solved, and the floodgates for mass adoption just swing wide open. And listen, we've seen this exact movie before. The internet was around for decades, but it crossed into the mainstream around 1995 when web browsers and SSL finally made it usable and secure for everyone. The cloud? It crossed around 2012 when AWS got the right enterprise certifications, which finally shut down the whole "we can't put our data in the cloud" argument. Mobile crossed into the enterprise around 2014 when the security tools finally matured. In every single case, the crossing was much quieter than the initial invention, but it was the moment that actually mattered. So why are we going through all this history? Because that exact same pattern is happening again, right now. But this time it's with AI agents, these incredible autonomous systems that can reason, plan, and actually execute complex tasks for us. We've already had the big breakthrough. We've been living in that gap of uncertainty, and now the crossing is here. And that's the headline. That's the core idea. The moment that enables mass business adoption of autonomous AI has just happened. This isn't just another product launch. This is that fundamental, quiet infrastructure shift we've been talking about. And what defines this crossing is something called the governance layer. Yeah, it's all the boring but absolutely essential stuff. The security, the compliance, the control mechanisms that finally allows a CIO to look at this powerful new technology and say, yes, we can deploy this across our entire organization and actually sleep at night. So what does this governance layer actually look like? Well, it looks like this checklist. We're talking verified SOC 2 compliance, end-to-end encryption, granular role-based access controls, and maybe most critically, full audit logs with the ability to replay an agent's every single decision. This checklist, which is now being met by platforms like Abacus AI's Deep Agent, is the definitive answer to that big enterprise question: can we trust this? And for the very first time, the answer is a clear yes. Okay, so with that foundation of trust finally in place, we can now start talking about the truly game-changing capabilities this unlocks. Because this isn't just about making things happen a little faster. It's about a new level of cognition that feels, well, it feels fundamentally different. Think about it this way. The old paradigm was all about data retrieval. Ask a question, get a fact. The new reality is understanding. A life coach bot that just pulls up a past conversation is basically a fancy search engine. But a bot that uses the context of that chat from 2 weeks ago to give you relevant advice today, that's demonstrating understanding. It's like talking to a person who actually listened. Or how about this shift from simple automation to real judgment? An agent that fixes a software bug isn't just mindlessly writing code. It's looking at a vaguely written support ticket, tracing the problem through a super complex system, and this is the important part, it's recognizing its own confidence level to know when it shouldn't act alone. That's not automation. That requires judgment. We're also seeing this move from just parsing information to deep comprehension. An agent that can sift through, say, 60 different Slack messages and then transform them into 3 prioritized action items isn't just filtering for keywords. It's comprehending the underlying human need inside each of those messages, the urgency, the context, the goal, to figure out what actually matters. And finally, this might be the biggest leap of all, from simple code generation to genuine design thinking. An agent that can build an entire application from just a simple natural language prompt isn't just spitting out lines of code, it's understanding a business goal and then architecting a whole system to achieve it. That is a completely different ballgame. And this brings us to a really crucial reframing of the whole AGI debate. Look, this isn't some philosophical claim about whether these things are conscious. It's a practical observation about their capability. When you see an agent reason and remember and design like this, the felt experience of working with it is so powerful that it becomes almost indistinguishable from working with a person that genuinely understands you. So the governance layer is here. The capability feels like true understanding. Why on earth does this matter to you and your business, right now, like this quarter? Well, let's go back to that historical pattern. Remember the companies that jumped on the cloud early back in 2012? They didn't just save a bit of money on servers. They built these massive, compounding advantages in speed and scale. And the businesses that waited until 2016, they found themselves playing a desperate, expensive game of catch-up for years. We are in that exact same moment right now with AI agents. But here's the catch. The window of opportunity this time is incredibly short. We're probably looking at the next 6 to 12 months as the critical period to start deploying these secure, capable agents and build advantages that will grow over time. Waiting is just no longer a viable strategy. Because of this crossing moment, the entire conversation has fundamentally shifted. The debate is over. The technology is not the bottleneck anymore. It's ready. The infrastructure is here. The governance is solid. The capability is absolutely real. So the only question left, the question every leader needs to be asking themselves today is, what am I going to build with this? And what am I going to do about it now?